Hello, everyone, and welcome to Revitalized. My name is Crystal Legrand, and I am the host of this wonderful initiative. And I am so excited to have persons from around the globe collaborating with us and connecting with us to make this venture possible. So, if you haven't heard about Revitalize before, Revitalize is a travel incentive program that is community funded, and it is geared towards incentivizing teachers with an all expense paid trip to the beautiful island of Jamaica. Myself and with fellow colleagues around the world are advocating for teachers, and we're reaching out and nominating teachers that have exhibited exemplary work ethic, exemplary contributions to their communities, and everything in between. So we are excited that today I get to share the stage with one of our wonderful ambassadors out of the Bahamas. Miss Melissa Darville was ready and willing to collaborate with us here at Revitalize and share the opportunity with her local community and find us a star teacher to bring on this first inaugural event. If you haven't heard about Revitalize, what our mission is, and everything else, you will hear bits and pieces of it throughout this interview. But we encourage you to also go and check out our website. It is revitalizestar.com, and you'll find out much more details about every aspect of what we're doing, why we're doing it, who we're impacting, and how you can help us to make this a possibility for a teacher that we have nominated for this year, or even one of your own special teachers for 2024. And so, as we get into this conversation, I would love to invite Miss Melissa Darville from the Bahamas to join me here for our chat about Revitalized and her teachers.
Hey, good afternoon, and thank you so much for bringing this opportunity to us. And I am so excited to get started with this and to be able to give a gift like this to a teacher that I have seen personally to give all of herself to her students.
That is something that has rung true for several other organizations, several other persons from around the world who we have collaborated with. There are so many persons coming back to say, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the chance to be able to, one, nominate a teacher, but then in the back end, also be able to express gratitude in a very unique way for the teachers in our community. So, first off, what I would love to hear from you, Melissa, is how you felt when you first heard about the project. What were your initial thoughts around, this? And if it was that, oh my God, how are we going to do this? You can say that as well, because I'm sure that is actually some of the thoughts that I personally had. But share with me, your initial thoughts on the project and what you liked about it and things like that.
I thought it was a great project because it's not often that teachers get the appreciation for the work that they do. And teachers are one profession that always go into their own pocket, always spend over the amount of time that they're booked for in order to see their children achieve. So I knew it was going to be a tight schedule with the gift being just this summer. However, I feel as if we really rally together that we will be able to accomplish what we want. Because teachers, they're the type, they don't go and ask for things hardly ever for themselves.
True.
So this is going to be a chance for them to do something for themselves and try to reboot so that they can be fresh for September.
Yes. And that's actually some of the reasons, Melissa, behind why we were adamant about sticking with the dates that we had. We know that throughout the year, teachers are just pouring into their students, they're pouring into families, they're counselors, they're the police officer, there are all these roles, right, in the classroom and outside the classroom. And oftentimes they don't get an extended break to be able to nurture themselves. And, coming from that headspace to know that globally, one, we wanted to pick a time where we can gather teachers from around the world. So of course school breaks are different across the globe, and so finding a time, first off, that would fit everyone would be in the summer. And some of the conversations we had in sculpting this project was, well, some teachers do summer school and everything else, and we were like, well, teachers should be able to choose at least once that this time is for me. And, I'm really excited to know at this point that we have several countries coming in. Into this project and into identifying a teacher in their community and collaborating with us to be able to raise the funds and do all the things behind the scenes. And so, as a collaborator, tell us about the teacher that you nominated, because once we kind of reached out to you and said, this is the project we're doing, this is the timeline we're looking at, you just readily got involved with us, so thank you for that. But then, the task was, and we definitely wanted to step away from the task of identifying one teacher that you could pick amongst the hundreds of teachers that I'm sure are brilliant in your community. What was your thought process behind your nomination? Tell us about who she is and, what your testament of her is. Yeah.
It was a little tough. I had a few teachers in mind
Yeah.
because, I work with schools and I'm also a former teacher, but I had to really think of the person I thought was, really extending themselves above and beyond. And so I chose to nominate Dr. Deborah Campbell, who is the founder of a school that is alternative education center, alternative learning center. I chose her because she saw a need in the community for where there were the teens and middle school and high school students, their needs weren't being met. And she took it upon herself with her own, funds to try to establish a school for these children. And she has been doing this, and she's been able to get the school to grow. And, from what I've seen with her, because my daughter was a former student, and I've recommended lots of my friends and other colleagues for their children to go there, and they've all been pleased because it's a place where families find themselves sometimes when you have a teenager that their needs are not being met in a regular school. They're too distracted. The environment is too big. They have learning gaps. They have an emotional issue. So you need to pull away. And you need someone who can not just focus on the book work of the child, but focus on the mind, the psychology of the child, and the emotions of the child and the character. And that's where I think things change with her, because she takes it to a personal level. She works with the parent, and she works with the family, and she works with the child to find out what exactly is going on with this child, why this child can't function in a large environment. And she gets into that, and she has those tough conversations with them. She has her specialty is I forgot right now, teen intervention. She's a teen intervention psychologist. So she gets into the nitty-gritty of what is actually affecting each child. And she doesn't deal with them as a group. She deals with them each individual. And when you see the kids with her, there is love. Because they know, and that, it's a tough thing with teenagers now. They feel they kind of distance themselves from adults because they feel, nobody understands me. Everybody just wants me to be perfect. Nobody knows what I'm going through. But she really gets into having conversations with them, and they begin to trust her and love her. They love her. I love her, and the parents love her. And that's a difference with a regular school. So even though I said I had a few people who I wanted to nominate, and maybe next year when things get up and running, we can have more nominations. But I felt she would be a good person to send this gesture to, because she deals with that tough age group, and
Yes.
kids who really need the help, who aren't
Yeah,
being served. So
absolutely.
that was
And yeah, you were going to say something else?
no, no, no.
Yeah, no, no, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking on one of our other teachers, her name is teacher Vicky out of Namibia, and we were having a conversation around these same lines. Just the students that need that extra attention. And like Dr. Campbell, she also started her own school. So I'm looking forward, and I was smiling as you were telling the story because I'm really looking forward for the two of them to be able to network with each other and connect, because Vicky has a special needs school in Namibia as well. We'll be interviewing her on Thursday. And so what is interesting is across the globe, we've seen different people from different regions, what coming from different backgrounds, dealing with different types of cultures, but having a very common thread that if you spend enough time with a student, they can flourish. They just need to be in the right environment. And I'm really appreciative of the teachers that have taken the step to one, become a teacher in that environment. And then these two special teachers that started their own school, and the work that I'm sure they put in and the resources that they put in to be able to get that school started must be a tremendous feat. And so, congratulations to them, first of all, in identifying the need and then putting in the work to get it off the ground. So, we are excited to have Dr. Campbell come on this inaugural trip. And so, for our audience, just so you know, this Revitalized project is our first project. So, initially, what we did was we identified partners that our company had worked with before in one capacity or the other to shorten the time frame of our nominations. As you know, if we did an open call across the Caribbean, the US, and Africa, and said, nominate your teachers, we would have been flooded with thousands of amazing teachers. And indeed, we do want to get to the place where we can impact all the thousands of teachers around the world. But to start, we had to start somewhere. And so we have identified, we're just closing off nominations and finalizing registrations now. And so we should have between 24 to 30 teachers joining us for this inaugural retreat. And we will bring them on an amazing experience to Jamaica and treat them to the best of the best. And one of the things that we emphasize through our initiative is that we're not an education development initiative. This isn't a conference for the teachers to learn how to teach. It is really a conference for well, not even a conference. It's really a retreat for the teachers to be able to disconnect from their day-to-day lives and spend some time nurturing themselves, nurturing their mental health, nurturing their way they cope in the classroom. So we'll be having workshops, but workshops that focus on the human being. I said yesterday we were talking with one of the teachers from Namibia, and I said to her, if the teacher is built up enough and she has enough motivation and she has enough energy, she will be able to teach under a tree if she had to. If she had to, that it doesn't matter where you put a teacher, she will teach. She'll teach on a bus, she'll teach in the plane, she'll teach, under a rock.
Yeah.
But she herself has to be equipped to be able to do so. And one of the things that I really appreciate about teachers is how much time and patience they put into the kids. And I had an interesting chat with one of our other collaborators out of Atlanta just earlier, and we were talking about the COVID pandemic. And Melissa, I don't know if you have kids. Do you have kids?
I four.
Four. So tell us about becoming the teacher in your home during the pandemic, because we had a good laugh about, well, I personally don't have kids, but my friend and colleague, she does have kids, and she said, listen, teachers need all the gifts. Just because she understood and there was an increased level of appreciation for teachers after the pandemic. Tell us a little bit about your own experience being the teacher in the house when the pandemic hit.
Well, with my younger two who were in primary school, they had to learn how to be almost like a college student overnight. So for me, it was like hard. I'm just like, okay, no, you got to check your email, you got to check your Google Classroom. Then they're sending something on WhatsApp, and it was like you have to coordinate all of this information. And
Right.
then they had to get so many skills together because they had to learn how to make a slideshow, find pictures, put things together, put projects together, and email it to the teacher. And I'm just like, I didn't have to do that until I was in college. And even though the level is lower, the skills that they
Right.
had to learn immediately, and
Right.
just to be able to focus and have and be on a chat like this, because
Right.
kids, they're doing all sorts of stuff. You'd be like, no, you can't do that. Everybody going to see you. No, you got to do this and that. And so they had to learn so much on etiquette
Right.
while using the computer, and then trust, because kids, they love video games. So it's such a tempting thing that
Right.
this chat here is kind of boring, and I want to open up a new window and
Mm,
play my game. So it was so many skills that the
right.
kids were forced to learn, and then as a parent, you had to police.
Right.
Because it's up to you now. It's up to you. The work was sent, and now you need to police it and get it done and make sure it's turned in. And I can tell you the amount of times I got the list with, these are the assignments that were missing. I'm like, what? All of these? And then like, you're gonna have to stay up all night to turn these in. Okay, you got to turn these in. Then I had to get help. I had to get one of my the younger kids to help me with I had to like snap things, and then on the computer, and then use the phone, and then upload it to this place. And I'm like, it was something else. I think it was more difficult to teach during COVID.
Right.
It was
And
more
so that
difficult.
I can imagine just how it was, because I in my head I'm imagining chaos, because I tell people I love what I do. I can build, I can, build projects and fill itineraries and stay in that space and promote. I can do this, I can host, I can do all of these things very brilliantly, but I do not have the patience for a classroom. That's the one thing. If I had to pick something that I'm horrible at, I can't get 20 little humans to sit and learn. I do not. I think that that's a work of art in itself.
Yeah, it
And,
is.
it is.
It is, because you could have brilliant people, but they can't control a classroom. Managing,
No,
getting the attention of the kids and getting them, and that classroom control without being forced, to find that balance. We
right.
have discipline, we have rules, but we still have fun. That's art.
I can tell
That's
you a
art.
joke. Like I tried a stint for like 3 months, I think, in the afternoon school program, and I think I spent the whole 3 months yelling and screaming just to get them to sit. Because of course, afternoon school was an extra layer. I couldn't do the classroom. I don't know why I thought for a moment that I could manage an afternoon school after they've sat in one place for the whole morning. Then for
Uh-huh.
me to tell them to sit for the whole afternoon, it just wasn't
Mhm.
working. And I was horrible at it. So I'm convinced I can't do what teachers do. But what I can do is create these types of projects. And I'm really, really excited to be able to collaborate and connect with persons. So just to give some persons that are watching this, whether live or in the replay, some insights, we are collaborating with one or two then ambassadors within every country, and then through the ambassador, we are working then in the countries to identify a school, identify a teacher, and through them, we're also initiating campaigns to be able to share videos about the teacher, to share information about their teacher, because at the end of the day, our program in itself is backed by a crowdfunding program. So to be able to effectively get this information out to as many people as possible, to have the audience, supporters, persons that support education, persons that understand the need for teachers to focus on their mental health and their wellness and do self-care type things outside of their classrooms. Every type of supporter our ambassadors across the globe are helping us to identify these persons nationally and globally. Then we are also launching a campaign, as you can see, through these interviews to have more and more conversations around what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we are impacting. So I want to encourage persons to go to our website. There is a tab at the top menu bar called Get Involved. And there are several ways that you can get involved right now for our campaign that's happening at the moment. One, of course, is to donate. So if you would like to, you can donate to our program and you can specifically contribute to any specific teacher, or you can just donate in general to the initiative. Either way, this all the proceeds will be going to making sure that the 30 teachers that we have selected this year get to go on this all expense paid getaway and retreat to Jamaica. But the other ways you can get involved is you can sign up right now to become an ambassador for your country. And so we will have a listing of the countries we've already established relationships. But you can, if your country is not listed, you can reach out to us for 2024 to get your country involved. So that's one. You can also, if you are a celebrity or an influencer and you would like to collaborate with us in that capacity, you can also connect with us for that. And for large corporations, you can also contribute with donations. We have several incentive packages. You can reach out to us and we will connect with you one-on-one. And so, Melissa, with that in mind, what are some things do you feel like within the Bahamas? Because one thing that we strongly feel, yes, our method of expressing our gratitude for the teachers is to incentivize them with this travel incentive. But what are some things that locally, nationally, within your country that you would like to see persons, whether individuals or companies, do for teachers in the Bahamas?
I think if we could open up some type of for the supplies. Teachers spend a lot of their personal money on supplies. So if we can open up our doors to have some type of system where teachers each year could get a certain amount of supplies from you or services, because teachers, they always need copying, they need lamination, they always need things to do bulletin boards. We want to promote like STEM learning, we want to promote science. So sometimes they need things like screws, copper wire, this type of stuff. So if you feel the need, or if you feel the urge, something is telling you, I think I want to help, but I don't know if my business is related to school, still reach out to us, because there are lots of things that children need to learn, and they're learning how to be member of the community. So whatever your job is, whatever your business is, if we communicate, we can find a way for us to collaborate and for you to assist the school. Even if it's just coming in and talking to them about developing a trade. Maybe you're an electrician or you're a plumber, and you want to talk to them about, how did I become this? How I'm now an entrepreneur, or I now own a firm. How would you pursue this? You know, if you're someone who's in corporate, someone who's working in banking, finance, you can come in and you can speak to the ladies and the gentlemen and tell them, this is what you can do. Do you love numbers? Do you love math? This is what I did. This is the path. Because a lot of times the children, they want to be something great. They know they have a skill, but they don't know the path, because not everyone has these success stories in their family line. Right. So by reaching out, you can help to share that knowledge. So I would say, I would like for the businesses in the community, or even other persons who have already retired and they know they have skills, you can reach out to us and see how you can assist with the schools in the community, because teachers, they love people to help them, and they love for kids to get that real information from someone who's actually living and doing it. Because sometimes you say, oh, but I'm not going to use this in the real world. Yes, you are. Let me show you how. Let me show you how. Let me show you someone who did. So I would like to extend that to the businesses and companies in the Bahamas, to open your doors and give back. Give back.
I think that one of the founding principles of Revitalize is a culture of honor. And so, as I mentioned, yes, as a company, we've decided to express our gratitude and build a travel incentive. But it's because we come from we are a travel business. But that doesn't mean that if you're a spa and you want to have a 1 day pedicures for a group of teachers, if you're a hairdresser and you just want to give a teacher a makeover, all these things are ways that you can express your gratitude for the teachers in your community. We want to make it that teachers feel a sense of gratitude. They're going to go the extra mile. They're already doing it, even without the incentive. What we want is that the community now reciprocates a sense of gratitude and expresses it. So you can say thank you how much you want, but until you turn and you put your, like we say in the Caribbean, put your money where your mouth is, then that's when we know for sure that you are contributing in some way. So, as Melissa said, it can be in any form. It could be in inviting the students to come to your workshop to see how things are made, to pique their curiosity in carpentry, or to take a tour of your company. There might be an excursion. There are buses that can take the students out. There's so many ways that the community can impact the students and their teachers and the schools. We just need to be more willing to say, okay, I am willing to do this and I am willing to do the other. Volunteerism is something that we are definitely advocating for, even beyond our project. So, yes, Revitalize is campaigning. We are raising funds. We are doing all of that. But beyond this, and when this is finished, so we have just the summertime, we're taking teachers and we're bringing them on an experience, and this will definitely be impactful. But beyond this, we want the communities to breathe this culture of honor and have it also become something that the students see. If
Mhm.
we as adults express honor and we exemplify honor, we teach our young people to do the same. And so then that actually breeds more cultures of honor. So as a parent, if you are intentional to make sure that the parent or the teacher of your student or your child, sorry, is expressing to their teacher some level of gratitude, whether at the beginning of the year, at the holidays, whatever it is, it will teach that child to always remember to honor their teachers and appreciate the education that they are receiving. Because education is that one thing that no one can take away from you. Once you have it, you have it. You know?
I was going to say, I noticed a
Yeah.
school that was adopted by a private firm.
Nice.
And the programs that are going on there, I didn't speak to them first, so I wouldn't call their name, but the programs that are going on there, I can see the difference in their children, because the children feel as if people love us and people care about us, and they're spending on us and they're doing things for us. And so the environment is cleaner.
Yeah,
There are more programs running. You can have time when a teacher has more access to resources, they can do more creative things. And the
absolutely.
children and the environment becomes a better one.
Yeah,
So that is something, if I would say what I would like to see going on in the Bahamas, I would like to see more corporations, because sometimes we have those huge Christmas bonuses and everything.
yeah,
I would like to see them adopt a school
yeah,
and let them use that money to build their programs so that we can start doing more innovative things,
absolutely.
because teachers will work with what they have. But if you give them more to work with, you
They
would be
have
surprised at what they could do with that. I would say
absolutely.
teachers know how to quadruple something, so give it to them, and let's see let's spend our money into our resource. Our children are what's going to build the company. It's build the country. So let's spend on them. Let's give to them.
Yes. Thank you so much, Melissa. This was definitely a hearty conversation. I am excited to see what will happen for the teachers from the Bahamas as we spark more conversations around this later on this month or early next month. We will also have your teacher here with us so that we can meet her and have a nice chat with her around, just her career and everything else. So the viewers can look forward to seeing Dr. Campbell and hearing from her directly in the future, in the coming days. Our campaign will be running from now. Right now, it's already up. And so we'll run right now our website. You can grab it at the bottom of the screen. So to learn more about our incentive program and this whole entire initiative, you can go to www.revitalizedstar.com, and it's at the bottom here, and it will be in the comments and everywhere else. Check us out. Reach out to us if you have a question. Ask. There This is our way, as we said, but we are open to discussions. We are open to suggestions. We're open to facilitating other initiatives or things that you may want to do but might not have the know-how of how to build the program around it. Reach out to us. We are willing to support and help to make sure that at the end of the day, teachers are supported and we build a culture of honor for educators across the globe. This is our mission here at Revitalize, and we hope that you join us on this mission. And I'm thankful again to you, Melissa, for seeing the need and being willing to collaborate and work with us as well. Thank you so much.
You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
And
very
thank you
much.
to our audience. We look forward to connecting with you and see you tomorrow. We'll be back with another interview. We will be going across the globe with another one of our ambassadors and hopefully one of our teachers as well will be joining us. We will be live every single day throughout our campaign at it's 7:15 p.m. in Europe, but it's in Eastern time, it's 1:15. So 1:15 p.m. on Eastern time, and wherever your time zone is, you can check out um, where, depending on where you're from, it might be a different time, but look out for our pages. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can follow the page. So even if you didn't see us live, you will be able to watch the replay. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Crystal Legrand, and this is Revitalized. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.